Okay, you've mentioned my name. I have no ambition. Okay, I just feel that having contributed to bringing about this tragedy to Nigeria by contributing to the emergence of Bola Tinubu as president, I should contribute in my last lap. Okay, because I'm 65, I should be retiring. In my last lap, let me
You've got a long
contribute.
way to go.
Let me contribute towards removing this evil that I believe will destroy Nigeria if left unchecked.
Right, but
just my people, as the halt, you don't happen no. Rufai. When I see the way US they strike Iran, now so Rufai just see they strike APC and Tinubu. When I just watch waiting talk of signing APC again, I see the watch and please kindly hit this like button. Make sure this video go viral and share this video. I see the halt, it don't happen no.
your presence in the SDP is very temporary then. I mean, that you're going to leave the SDP, assuming the ADA gets registered.
When I joined the SDP, I made it clear in my statement that even though I'm in the SDP, just like every other, I mean, Atiku Abubakar is still in the PDP. Peter Obi has not officially left Labour Party. But we all agreed that if we have consensus on a platform, we are going to give up our own legacy parties and focus on that platform. Look, Nigerians are tired of the APC. We know that, we have polled that. There is 91% disapproval of this administration across the country. 91% disapproval. It's the worst in Nigeria's history. But Nigerians are looking for a credible option.
Yeah, but
they want to see people
Right.
coming together, putting aside their differences and ambitions and giving them an alternative to this failure of a government.
But that's the
party.
key thing. Can you put aside your personal ambitions?
You've got
yourself, you've got
Yeah.
Atiku Abubakar, you've got Peter Obi, you've got Rotimi Amechi, you have so many big political, wigs with huge, ambitions.
Big names does not equate to ambitions, okay? You've mentioned my name. I have no ambition, okay? I just feel that having contributed to bringing about this tragedy to Nigeria by contributing to the emergence of Bola Tinubu as president, I should contribute in my last lap, okay? Because I'm 65, I should be retiring. In my last lap, let me
You've got a long way to go.
Let me contribute towards removing this evil that I believe will destroy Nigeria if left unchecked.
Right, but you supported President Buhari in 2019.
Yes.
And for many people, he simply didn't deliver.
Yes.
I mean, you supported Tinubu in 2023, and
Yes.
now you're saying he's not delivering.
Yes.
So how can we trust that the person you supported in 2027 can deliver?
You don't have to. Don't trust what I say. It looks like I'm not very good at picking successful presidents, so don't trust me if I say vote for Charles Aniagolu. Look at your situation, look at yourself and ask yourself whether the person that I'm campaigning for or the person that I'm supporting to be president will be better than what you have now. Life, human affairs, life is all about relativity. You have to ask yourself, will this man do a better job? When we supported Bola Ahmed Tinubu for president, we were under the mistaken impression that he will be better.
I was going to ask you about that, because I wanted to get into why you supported him so totally, because I remember interviewing you during that period. I mean, many people would say that there was never anything about him that really inspired people to believe that he could really change this country dramatically. He didn't take part in any debates that brought some new insight. He wasn't particularly charismatic, and many people didn't see anything in his DNA that made him particularly stand out. Was there something about him that you detected that separated him from the pack as far as you were concerned and made you support him so totally in 2023?
Okay, so let me respond to that in two steps, okay? Because, you know, it's very easy for non-politicians to analyze this thing as one continuing narrative. But actually, the way the thought process works is this, okay? And this is how it worked in 2022. For us, as northern APC governors, the first concern we had was after 8 years of Buhari, power should go to the south. We believe that there was such an understanding in our party. We were part of the formation of the party, and we felt that that was an honorable thing that must be upheld. So that was the first step. So we didn't start by saying we want A or B to be president. We just said, look, power should go to the south. That was the first step. The second step is, now that power has gone to the south, who do we support that we think will have a chance of winning? Okay? Because you want your party to win. You want to be the party in power. And lots of calculations went into that. And Bola Tinubu became the beneficiary of that. But we didn't start with supporting a candidate. No, no, no. And I want to say that it was the support of the governors of the Northwest, Northeast, and North Central that was decisive in deciding the outcome of the primaries as well as the election. Of course, Bola Tinubu's puppeteers are now denying that. They are saying all kinds of things, and they will learn their lesson in 2027, okay? But this is how it started. Now, for me personally, because you asked me, Bola Tinubu was never someone I was close to, even in the party, because in the party I was a Buhari boy. Bola has his boys, Buhari had his boys. We are Buharists. No apologies. So Bola Tinubu never really liked me. We never really got along. The person that I got along with was Baba Akande, and I was his deputy national secretary. We were among the first leaders of the party. As far as I was concerned, once Bola Tinubu got the ticket of the party, it was my duty as a party man to do my best to deliver him in Kaduna, and wherever I see that there is a potential problem that I can solve to ensure his election, I would do that. Is he perfect? No. Some people said Bola Tinubu is not his name. Nobody knows his birth date for sure. Nobody knows who his parents are for sure. There are all kinds of questions.
And that didn't bother you at the time?
It did bother me because I know my name, I know my parents, I know my birth date, I know I have classmates, okay, and there are no questions about whether I graduated from Ahmad Bello University or not, okay. All those questions were there about about Tinubu. But for me, the question was, he was governor of Lagos, yes? How did he govern Lagos? He governed Lagos in a very inclusive manner. He had an Igbo guy as a commissioner. He had another Hausa man from Daura as one of his special advisors. In Lagos, in 1999, that was almost unique. He ran an inclusive government. After winning the elections with the Agberos and all that, he went and got the Cardosos, Wale Eduns, Yemi Osinbanjos from the private sector to come and help him run the government. So he did a decent job in governing Lagos. That's the only thing we know about him as far as governing is concerned. You know, Charles, every saint has a past. Every sinner has a future, okay? The way I looked at it is, well, look, he did a decent job in Lagos. Lagos has improved. You can't deny that. He laid a foundation. Many people have issues about how he held on to Lagos and so on and so forth. But the place is improving. If he can do half of that on a pan-Nigeria level, this country will move forward. So I said, look, he's the candidate of the party. I will support him. I will do everything to ensure he wins. So that's my explanation.
Right.
now, Fast forward.
He's failed you.
Fast forward.
As you
he
said.
has. Look, the one thing I was almost confident President Tinubu would do would be to have a competent team, solid people. Look at his cabinet. It's a joke. The largest cabinet in Nigeria's history. Maybe there are 5 ministers that can be called ministers in the time I was minister, which was 20 years prior. Okay. Who is the Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala in that cabinet? Who is the Obi Ezekwesili? There is just no quality. As I said, apart from about 5
you could ask
them,
the same question.
Yeah.
Who is the Nasir El-Rufai.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to go to that level.
Well, the reason
okay?
I bring that up is that
Yeah.
a lot of people will be saying that you're saying these things because you didn't make it into the cabinet when you expected to do so. And I'm wondering if that, what some interpreted as a slap in the face for you, is what is motivating you. And whether, let me just make this point, whether or not there could be, because I mean, he dropped you, which after all the effort you made on his behalf. And I'm wondering whether there could be an even bigger political price to pay for you for going for the president's political jugular this time. Because when you supported him, he cast you aside. And now this time you're opposing him. Could there be a bigger political price to pay for you?
There may be. I don't care. That's me, okay? Now, let's go back to that. You know, Charles, anytime I wake up and I see the Tinubu government inflicting more pain on Nigerians and just bungling governance, the simplest things in governance that I knew when I was DG of BP, these guys can't even get it together. Whenever I see that, I thank God. Because I think God saved me. I'm a very lucky person. I think God saved me from the embarrassment of having to explain to be part of this disaster, okay? So I've never thought twice about it. I never